Hold the camera. Let's talk about that.
How's it going up there on the
Are you guys good? Yeah, we're gonna fucking DoorDash right now.
walk up? It's gonna be over. No, they kept going.
Yeah.
They were doing that. Okay,
We didn't even phase them.
oh, you know, who ordered the tax? You know.
Hey guys, it's Shank with the Shank Redemption Podcast, and these next 2 weeks, actually I'm doing some special episodes with my friend Davin Rosenblatt. We're coming to you from the Bahamas in Paradise Island. I'm doing 2 weeks with Davin here at the Joker's Wild Comedy Club, and it's going to be really interesting. But before we get started, I want to remind you guys, first of all, check out Black Label Chronometers. Black Label Chronometers, Ryan Babb takes vintage records and he puts clocks on them, and what he does is he actually will do tailor-made clocks for you. So if you like Kiss, he'll make a Kiss clock, but check him out. And he's got really reasonable prices. And if you use the code SHANK15, SHANK15, you'll get a discount. Also, I want you to check out my friends at myvibe.com. That's myvyv.com. Sometimes during the day you get tired. You want to use 5-hour energy. If that's not doing it, or coffee, that's not doing it for you either. Check out My Vibe. They got a smelling salts array of just different scents and things that will wake you up. Check them out. Again, that's myvibe.com, myvyv.com. And if you use the code SHANK15, again, SHANK15, they'll hook you up. So with all that out of the way, let's get started. So again, I'm with Davin Rosenblatt. Davin, say hi to my tens of fans right now.
Hi, tens of fans right now. Can we curse?
Yeah, absolutely. So whatever you want to say. So typically this is just an open forum to talk about anything, ask a few questions. But first and foremost, Davin brought me down with him to the Bahamas.
He fits nicely in a travel size suitcase. It worked out well.
I do. I tuck up well in spite of my size.
More flexible than you would think.
That's what she said.
No, she didn't.
It's true. But how many times have you been down to do this show at this resort?
7, 8, I don't know. It's been a bunch. Been there a lot.
Yeah. And what's cool about it being with, not just, he's a good friend of mine, but it's also, he's been here so many times, I get to see a lot of local spots that people don't normally go to, because when they come to places like this, they just stay on campus, so to speak. But you got your family coming down and things, and you guys are going to feed the turtles and all that kind of stuff.
I don't know if we're going to feed the turtles. We might have to do one of those covert turtle feedings, because they used to have, every day they would have, you could feed the turtles, give them lettuce. I don't know if they're doing that since they sold off part of the campus, I believe is the word you used.
I couldn't think of another word. Resort.
Well, that's what it is. Okay. Compound something. Nice and menacing here in the Bahamas. People with machine gun turrets.
Dude, the people are amazing down here.
That's their job.
Oh, okay. So they don't like me.
No, I don't know, but it's that's the job. That's why they're here. They notice they're all wearing the same thing, uniforms from the place where they're working, and they're trying to get your money.
That's true.
And in order to get your money, is have a good experience. They are the opposite of what I am. So, yeah, but they are nice people. Everybody's nice. But you go anywhere when you go to a resort in the Midwest. Well, you go to a casino in the Midwest. The people are very nice to you.
The plethora of resorts that they have in Whiting, Indiana.
You go to the indoor water park in the Midwest. The people that work there are lovely. It's their job. Now, when they're on their coffee break, but it's their job. But
but I do like how what is it you say at the start of your set?
Oh, well, I just mean, because you're so nice, and Val, who was our host last night, it was so nice, everybody else nice. Listen, everybody's here to powder your ass, but me. I do not care if they have a good time. I only care if I have a good time. And if I'm having a good time with them, they will have a good time. If they are making me miserable, it's going to be a long 45 minutes.
Yeah, this has been such a cool experience so far, and I've only been here a couple days.
This is only your second day. You got here on Monday night.
Yes.
So we had all yesterday, and we're shooting this early on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So we haven't really even gotten to experience everything.
No, but I mean, like the food, it's amazing the difference of just the culture, because the folks down here are like really laid back. Everything is, I'm not gonna say slow, but it's just very chill. You know, they're not aggressive.
As somebody slammed the door, get out! not aggressive. We'll show you.
Something slammed in the window. Anyway, but no, I mean, really, and they're just very mild and nice, except if they're trying to sell you cigars. I don't know why that's such a thing.
Well, you haven't really been on the beach yet where they're trying to sell you cocaine or, jet skis.
No.
Yeah, but want to party?
Do they have like a combo deal where you can do the
Sure they do. You want to party? You looking to party? You want to party? You want to party? No, I don't want to party with you, you filthy animal.
Davin is also really well known for his international relations.
Oh no, it has nothing to do with where you're from. I just don't want to hang out with you if you're offering me drugs, because I don't do drugs.
That's right. You're very
Now, you come at me with a puff pastry, you want to party? I'm interested. Let's listen. Is that an eclair? I would like to party.
Is that like New York street vendors for people over 45? Hey, want a donut?
Yeah. Krispy Kreme, crawler. All right, let's party. Oh, I like that. Is that powder? That's my jelly donut. Morning.
How you doing, brother?
We all have drugs. Mine's just different.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mine don't help you lose weight. They help you bulk up.
But yeah, the people here are very cool. The food's amazing. I was told many times before I came down here to try conch, so I've tried conch fritters, cracked conch, which is deep fried conch.
I gotta tell you, I've known you many years. This is the first time I've ever seen your O face, and to see it on consecutive days, I feel bad for your wife.
No, I have an ugly O face. It's not pleasant. I'm surprised.
Nobody has a good O face. But you have a conch O face, and you have a cracked chicken O face, and you have look at the nice lady doing a dance O face.
She taught me the conch dance.
I don't know if that's a conch.
I don't think it is, because I said that to somebody. We were there, and they were like, they didn't even know what it was.
I think she was just happy and cool. That was
nice. I got
Nishan, one of the sous chefs here.
Yeah, I got to dance with the sous chef. It was really
You didn't dance.
I tried. I did the thing.
Yeah, you did. All right.
And then I was very uncoordinated, and I said, I can't do this.
And then you guys both sang, and that's when everybody got out of the water.
So it's been an awesome couple of days. The show last night was a little strange. We had an eclectic.
No, that's not eclectic. So here's what threw you, and I it's one of the things. It's an adjustment. You're not used to performing to people from all over the United States or all over the world, because you go to a club, it's usually a 10.
Right.
I've done enough resorts. That's what it is. Or even New York City, at some of the clubs around Times Square, there'll be people that don't even understand English in your audience. So this is good exercise. It teaches you how to appeal to many different types of people. But your act is that way. You're not a regional comic.
Yeah, you just say appeal to people. That's not really one of my strong suits.
No, but I mean, there's not many of your strong suits, and that's one of the better ones. So,
No, it's definitely been a learning experience.
That was night one, and you did good. You hung in there. You didn't get mad. It built up.
Yeah, no, it was. I think honestly, the thing is that really kind of threw me. Not just the people, but they were fun. It was the technical aspects of it. Like the lights were a little bit strange.
Well, I mean, that's in any club. I mean, they're kind of blinding, and they come at you from the side. Which is different. That's the first time they've had that since I've been here. But yeah, I mean, it's always hard when you can't really see the audience. But I wanted to look to people to the left, and I couldn't see them. I even said, "Well, I was going to talk to you, but I can't see you, so sorry. I'm going to have to talk to you."
Yeah, and even as bad as my eyes are, I can see people generally in the front row, and I couldn't even see that stage left table.
Yeah, no, it's hard. It's blinding. And then you're like, well, do I duck? Do I rate? Yeah, it's a pain in the neck.
Yeah. So we went into town, would you call it, I guess, off resort. You say go over the bridge. That's how everybody refers to it. And there's this massive, Mackinac bridge thing that just goes up and
Well, there's two
over.
of them actually.
Oh yeah, there's two of them.
Because one's to come to the Paradise Island, which is where the resort is,
Right.
and the other's to leave Paradise Island.
Okay.
So there's two of the exact, essentially same bridge, and they have to be very high so ships
Right.
can get underneath. Although to be honest, I've never seen a cruise ship go underneath it, but they do have certainly boats and everything going underneath it.
Right, but the thing too about down here is the water is so clear. We're standing at the apex of the bridge, and we could see mantas from up there. And what was the other thing that we saw that was
Needlefish.
needlefish? Yeah, which with my eyes was so funny to me. Like, no, look at the thing that is translucent, that is just the same color as the water.
You want me to tell you?
Well, I finally caught some quicksilver. I was telling Jen about it last night, where I finally just saw a glint, and I was like, oh, okay, that's what that is.
Well, today when we go, when we eat one of the fish shacks, if we get a window seat, it'll be closer.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
And if we go in the ocean,
Yeah,
they swim right up to you.
Really?
Yeah, the fish swim right in between you. I haven't seen a ray swim up to anybody. I've walked along the beach and seen a ray playing, like in the surf. But when I've actually been in the water, I haven't had a ray come up to me that I've seen. And I don't want sharks coming up to me because a woman just died here a couple of days ago. Not at this particular resort, but another, because the Bahamas is a chain of islands.
Right.
At another island.
Okay, so that I wanted to ask you about that because Jen mentioned that last night. I was talking to her on the thing. Oh, and by the way, if you ever come down to the Bahamas, check your phone plan because there's a good chance your phone might not work here.
Well, it depends on your phone plan.
Yeah.
You get what you pay for, kids.
He's low key insulting me, but I'm trying to be helpful and give you guys a public service.
You're just bitter because your phone doesn't
I'm
work.
fucking bitter. Goddamn bitter.
But to be fair, this is the first time I'm not paying for the extra service. So I have Verizon. Why am I doing a Verizon commercial? Anyway, I have my phone Verizon. So if you want like international calling, it's $10 a day. I'm not doing that because if I'm on the hotel, if I'm on internet, wherever I am, I can do free Wi-Fi calling and texting, which you can't do with your plan.
No, I can't. But the thing is, your internet works. You can do calls by like Facebook Messenger and things like that. So there are ways.
Did you get the email I sent you?
No.
No, I sent you because I took pictures last night.
Oh no, I did get that.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm not wearing that shirt again, by the way,
Why?
because I look like a fucking nerd, dude.
You're wacky. You're a comic. It's fine, man.
Really? I was looking at that picture and I was just like,
You
ugh.
look like what they expect a comic to look like in this resort.
Okay, well, I even looking at that, I was like, man, if I was my wife, I wouldn't fuck me.
Well, she already said I do, so she doesn't have a choice. So you're not going to wife up anybody else down here in 2 weeks.
Do you hear that, ladies that are married? You don't have a choice. You have to sex your man. So that's
Yeah,
really.
stand by that.
He'll die on that mountain.
Alone and sexless, but with principle.
All right, so yeah, we ventured into the city to the it's not Save-A-Lot. What was it?
Super value?
Super Value.
The supermarket. You're telling me about the supermarket?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
We went to. No, it's look. If people don't ever come down here, it's just interesting to know kind of the stuff that happens. And if you go over the bridge,
Gather in, guys. Gather around. In the Bahamas, they too have places where they purchase food.
I'm just saying you don't have to shop at the resort. I didn't,
You don't.
I figured I was going to be here like,
Oh, the bracelet's looking good.
yeah.
One of the bracelets I wear on stage, I got not from the beach people that you got yours, from one of the little tchotchke things, like a little arch thing from behind the pharmacy that we got.
Oh, the one that was called Pharmacopoeia or whatever it was.
No, not the one in the marina.
Oh,
The one where you got your razor. There's like also another one during the day. That's
Yeah.
where I have different jewelry from various islands I've been to. So I have one from the Bahamas.
he's very fancy.
I'm a fancy man, as you can tell by my Las Vegas casino shirt with casinos that are no longer in business. It's retro.
All right, so aside from,
Don't stare at my chest trying to see which casinos.
no, I'm not.
Not you, them.
Oh, well,
Bunch of creeps.
yeah, no, what do you say? They're filthy animals. My people.
No, I didn't say your people are filthy animals. Although I can only assume.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they follow me, they're filthy animals. But you're my
Yes.
filthy animals. I love you.
Just don't be downwind.
All right, so the shark thing, I was going to ask you, I got sidetracked.
Yes.
Jen was telling me about that. What happened?
A woman was actually on her paddleboard, and shark knocked her off the paddleboard, took a bite. That was her last meal, being him. So she died, unfortunately. A woman out of Boston, I think. It's a couple of days ago.
That's horrible. Well, you were telling me about the thing with the excursion thing too.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was Blue Lagoon is one of the tourism companies down here where you can go snorkeling or feed nurse sharks, or actually swim with nurse sharks, feed lizards, and swim with pigs and all sorts of stuff. So like Blue Lagoon is one of the companies down here, and so people on the cruise ship went on a Blue Lagoon excursion, and they were taking on waves, and it was like a double-decker ferry type thing, and it started to sink. So people were jumping into the water, and the crew was not giving any instruction whatsoever. And a bunch of like little boats came and rescued the people, but unfortunately, somebody died. Probably like a heart attack. I think it was like an older person. But, yeah. So, come to the Bahamas.
Yeah, it's
enjoy
lovely.
the grocery store and stay for the death.
Just don't do anything fun. Don't go paddle boarding. Don't go on excursions. Actually, just stay in your room the entire time.
Enjoy the Wi-Fi.
It's not free.
Yes, it is.
Well, for us it is.
No, for everybody it is. You used to charge it.
Oh.
So back in the day, it used to be $24.95 a day or something like that, or $19.95 a day.
Oh my gosh.
So you used to have to come to the library, and they had a bunch of computers, and you could be online for 20 minutes at a time. They'd give you like a little pass thing. But I became friends with with one of the librarians who actually now lives in New York. We're still friends, and so she would just give me a bunch of passcodes. But yeah, like I couldn't even use the Wi-Fi in my room. But then, like a few years ago, they just said, "Okay, we'll give you Wi-Fi."
Nice.
Makes a big difference.
All right. So one of the questions I wanted to ask you, and it's kind of a more serious question. With everything that is going on in the world,
Jews! We're getting to Jews! I'm the first one on you.
I was trying to find a delicate way to slide into this
Jews.
subject.
We're all around you. You just might not know it.
They're behind every door, in every bank.
Wow!
Look, you opened the door.
I love your parades where your goose stepped down the main street.
I do have shiny boots. No, but seriously, when we talked about this earlier in the week, I didn't even think about it because there is a rash of anti-Semitism that is going. It seems like it's everywhere. I never thought I'd see it in this country, but it's happening. And you have people that like your Nick Cannons and Charlemagne the God, who are openly throwing anti-Semitism all over the place.
Are they? I don't pay
yes,
attention.
They are.
I know Charlemagne the God, the week that we were recording this, is hosting the Daily Show. I haven't seen anything this week.
As soon as I heard his anti-Semitic comics, and this is comics.
Anti-Semitic comments? My favorite type. What type of comments did he say?
No, this was months and months ago.
Okay.
I'll have to Google it, but no, because he came under fire because he was talking to Cannon at the time, and it was one of those things where people were like telling him, "You need to apologize," and they were just like, "Look, if anybody took the stuff we said the wrong way, it's like, no, you guys were assholes." But it just seems like it's now like nobody, it's don't make fun of any races or ideologies, but it's okay to make fun of Jewish people now or hate them.
It's always been that way.
But it's just like even with your last name.
Tradition.
And you don't monkey with tradition.
No, listen. Anti-Semitism is like humanity's favorite pastime. Thousands of years.
Is it prevalent enough now that it's causing you some? You're proudly. You're Jewish. You are what you are. But is it something?
You are what you eat, and I eat Jews.
But is it something that you feel like I've got to be a little bit cautious nowadays?
Yep, but I've always felt that. But yeah, it's risen. When ISIS was rising to power several years ago, I felt in New York City could be a target in the clubs with all the random gun shootings. I've always felt that way. Somebody could storm in. I said in 2015 on my radio show, Davin's didn't make sure you check it out. In 2015, when Donald Trump was running for office,
Right.
and one of my co-hosts, Joe Curry, is a big big Trump supporter. I go, anti-Semitism is going to be on the rise. My parents were it's like, no, you're crazy, blah, blah, blah. And it has been. And with Trump, it was ushered in by the right wing. You know, Charlottesville, Jews will not replace us, cargo shorts and tiki torches. Woohoo! Anyway, so the right wing had that.
Hey, don't rip on cargo shorts.
Yeah, but you don't have a tiki torch, so you're fine.
Oh, fair.
So the right wing had that, and we saw that. We saw that in Pittsburgh, in synagogue, where that shooting, that was a Trump supporter, went in there. So we saw the right wing, and then the left wing said, "Well, you know what? That looks fun. We're gonna jump on that Hamas bandwagon because I'll tell you what, if I'm a queer person, LGBTQ, there's nobody I love more than Hamas. Why? Because they'll give me a free trip off a rooftop." So yeah, so now the left wing has done. So it's so nice. You know, we often in America try to find things that can unite us, and hatred of Jews is one of those things. So yeah,
I don't understand that, and
well, all right. Growing up with a lot of Jews, I get it to a degree, but not all of us. Like individually, yeah.
Okay, this is probably going to sound like a bigoted statement.
But we're in the right place, aren't we? This is what your sponsors paid for.
Yeah, absolutely. No, look. I know a handful of Jewish people, and every single one of them.
What is a handful of Jews called?
No.
Is it a gaggle?
I would know.
Gaggle of Jews? Is it a mishpucha? Mishpucha is family. Is it your
Mishpucha?
Mishpucha is family, not mishpucha.
Mishpucha.
No, not mishpucha. Not that's what you do at the comedy club. Mishpucha. Sorry, you're gonna have to be canceled. It was a mishpucha.
Okay.
Mishpucha. You gotta
Mishpucha.
yeah, you want to get that phlegm. You know, like when you have like a chest cold. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Mish. Mishpucha.
Mishpucha.
It's like Yiddish Sesame Street. I love it.
Mishpucha.
Mishpucha. Mishpucha. Near? Far. Mishpucha. And I'm going,
Okay.
this is
So
what you wanted.
mishpucha.
You didn't want to talk comedy, so this is what you got.
No, well, it's just our last episode. We talked a shitload of comedy. No, we can talk comedy. It's just like this is. I mean, it's relevant. But the point I was trying to get to
Is you know some Jews.
that is.
My best friend is a Jew, I believe you were saying, so how could I possibly be anti-Semitic? I believe you were saying that.
Not saying that.
You felt it.
I'm trying to say that every Jewish person I've ever run into has been incredibly nice. I've never known them to be bad people. So
Listen, here's what it is. Here's humanity. You have to blame somebody for your failings. You have to blame somebody for your situation. Why somebody else has more than you. Why I can't get a break. Sometimes the Jews are always the fallback position. You can, when all else fails, you always have the Jews. But I was talking this the other day. In our country, Chinese, Irish, black people, Native Americans not so much. We just massacre them, so we don't really worry about them. But there's Muslims. There's always somebody to blame. The Latinos, the Mexicans. There's always somebody. And I always like when it comes to like a Mexican, I'm like, if you can't get a job because somebody's picking lettuce for $1.25 an hour, then you suck. Because you don't want to do that job anyway. So people don't want to look at themselves and go, this is why I'm struggling. This is what I need to do to change. No. Those people are the reason. And we have certain politicians who want to divide us, and not just in this country, all over the world, who want to divide us so that they can rise to it. If you put me in office, I will take care of those people, and your life will be wonderful. But the reality is, even if those people are taken care of, your life really doesn't change.
No, it doesn't. It was like when Obama was running for office, and I remember there were folks dancing around saying, I'm gonna have a chicken in my pot, and all my rent's gonna be paid, and the rest
Who
of
said that?
That was televised. There were folks outside of the poll offices that were dancing around, screaming about how everything was going to be better.
By the way, Obama was just going to make it rain like a strip club, and you get a chicken, and you get a chicken.
Yeah. And frankly, numbers-wise, we really hadn't had a great president since Clinton. And I'm pretty much libertarian. I swing both ways, conservative, liberal.
He's bipolitical.
I'm bipolitical, yes. But I thought Clinton, aside from his, chicanery,
That's a big aside.
but his
At the
numbers
time.
were amazing.
Yeah, because we had a good economy at the time. But then now people look back and you know what? Those trade deals which we herald. I can't use words, which we really liked at the time.
Right.
Now people look back, and Trump did it. Go, those trade deals killed America, took care of the factories. So you never know how it's all going to shake out. At the time, he was extremely popular, and the fact that they were going after him for a blowjob, which really was more than a blowjob, it was a power play. He was wrong, but we weren't in a place in our country to actually look at it like that.
Right.
At the time, people were like, yeah, but I'm living good. Listen, Daddy Bush was doing great until he had to tell the people the truth.
Right.
No new taxes. Oops, read my lips.
Taxes.
Oops, well, we got to pay for stuff. Because the guy before him, put it all in the credit card bill.
So okay, I don't know if you know
want to
this.
get into politics about this, but
Well, so Daddy Bush.
I like
Where did the reputation of him being a wimp come from?
Dana Carvey.
But that's I don't.
It was a character.
I get that he's a character, but him being a wimp that came from Dana Carvey.
Well, remember he choked on a pretzel?
Yeah, and he also. Do you know his history?
Yeah, no,
World War II?
he's legitimately a tough guy.
Do you know what he did though in World War II?
Yeah.
About the plane on fire and
He's a tough guy.
he absolutely.
The same way John
McCain.
McCain is a tough guy.
John McCain was a tough guy.
Yeah, but you got people going around. I don't let people get captured. Whatever. George W. Bush, not George W. Bush, George Herbert Walker Bush.
Yeah, the senior.
And John McCain are two. Forget about their politics. Are two of the greatest patriots we ever had.
Yeah.
But with the skew of politics and what people believe, you can shame these men and make it seem like they haven't contributed greatly to our country. And that's just, whatever you believe, I guess what you want to believe. But as you were alluding to, the history is there. He was a great man. He actually did more for the environment than Republicans were doing at that time. Now, obviously, you would let, people of more liberal persuasions would have liked more, but he was doing some stuff.
Right.
He was a good president. But he got caught holding the bag for trickle-down economics. And he had the audacity to have to break the bad news to people that, oopsie, I made a mistake. That, we can't. But no, you said no new taxes. You said read my lips, and I did. You can't do it.
Even my deaf friend over here, I read your lips.
We're not a sophisticated people.
It seems like we're becoming less sophisticated.
Yes, we are. Well, there's a person. Yes, of course we are, because we're all on our phones. We don't interact with other people. Intelligence. Somebody with your degrees, by certain people in our society, look down on that. Forget about all the other stuff you've done, but they look down on the fact that you've educated yourself and you're getting knowledge, and now you're actually passing on knowledge to people. That's not real to them.
I don't understand.
Because we're stupid.
But yeah, we are. But I just had a conversation with a friend of mine, still a friend.
Jewish?
No, of course not. I only have a handful.
Oh, this was outside the hand.
This was outside the
You
hand.
do live in Michigan. I understand their rules.
A mitten of Jews.
Was it by the thumb? Are the Jews by the thumb?
Pretty much.
That's why we control everything. Without us, you can't grab anything.
But they were saying, about my degrees, that they don't matter because common sense is more important. And I said, common sense, absolutely. Street smarts totally matter because book smarts are going to help you out in the real world.
Oh, yes, they are.
But
clearly they are. They're helping you pay your bills.
But
That's the real world.
That is but I'm saying that is where.
Because you know who says that? Stupid people. You have stupid friends. We all have stupid friends. Doesn't mean they're not our friends, but they reveal themselves to be stupid, and that's okay. Now listen, I guarantee you, I am somebody's stupid friend. I guarantee you, because there are a lot of people much smarter than me.
Yeah, but you also went to law school. And you do something that I don't know if we're going to get to this on the next podcast, because I think on the next.
We're not doing 5 parts, a 5-part miniseries.
We're doing 2. We're doing 2.
I want a 5-part miniseries.
Okay, so we'll have 5 10-minute podcasts.
I want to represent every Jew you know.
You almost do.
So basically, he says my Jewish friends just lop off the last S, and it's me.
When I say handful, I mean like handful. I can count on 5.
Yeah, those are comics.
But no, they are actually. Every Jewish friend I have is a comic. Geez, you totally sidetracked me. Sorry. No, it's okay. I had a whole ass. Oh no. So we may not get to this on the next cast. So I do want to talk about this on this installment. people that do use their education for good, all right? Now, I teach, but I teach 2 colleges, but I don't teach like traditional English. I try to wrap in philosophy and life advice with my students because I think our educational system is completely broken and we've been woefully unprepared for the world. So,
You know, it's weird. I want to ask you this.
Yeah.
So you're in university.
Yeah.
We are the same age, essentially.
Yeah.
And now it seems like at universities, there are these professors teaching certain ideologies. And I don't remember that. Like I was a political science minor, and I took religion classes, and I took Islam as religions of the world. I don't remember anybody teaching ideologies. There was a curriculum, but there was certainly no I'm trying to indoctrinate you into anything. And I took Holocaust classes, and I guess that's a thing now. Mm-hmm. So are you seeing that on your campus?
I am, and I'm seeing it in the language that comes down from the administrations and things, but I don't play that, and I don't know if it's because my students like me that I get away with shit, but there's so many things that...
I think these professors that teach this stuff are liked. They're popular professors, otherwise they couldn't indoctrinate.
Well, but I also think that they're playing the game that the administrators that have like minds want them to play too. I look, to answer your question, no. All the times I went to school up until the last, because I started like really getting back into my degrees in 2016, we never had any of that. It was, you went to school, it was knowledge, except for history, which is complete bullshit in this country. And
well, history, you're not going to learn the full history. You're going to learn, was it the people who win write the history?
Exactly. It's just chock full of lies. But that's one of the things I tell my students too, is like, don't believe anything that you're told. I even tell them, don't believe the shit I tell you. Research things, look up, think beyond.
That involves work. That's active learning, and we're very passive learning.
Well, with my kids, I'm trying to get them actively learning and going out and changing shit.
I try to do that with my daughter, and she's a really bright kid, an A student and everything. I don't know if it's the phones. I don't know if they're bombarded by the social media and they don't get context. I mean, I don't know what it is, but it is certainly something. Listen, here's the point. I think anybody can have their views, whatever their views are. You're welcome to it. I just don't know if it needs to be on the clock. Like I don't know if students should have to pay for it. Like if you want to post stuff on social media, let the chips fall where they may. You may or may not lose your job for it, but you certainly have the right. That's not free speech. You have the right to. The government's not coming after you. There are consequences to it. But I think if you're on the clock, especially like on a state or city university that's paid for by the tax dollars, I don't think you should be teaching ideology unless the class is like specifically, this is the ideology
class.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. But the thing is, ideology isn't education. That's opinion.
Right, but it's being lost.
Yeah,
presented
100%.
as education.
I 100% agree, and I don't understand it. I remember when I started at Hopkins, and I was in my first class with an amazing Professor Heidi. She was one of the best I've ever had, and she, we went through and introduced everybody, and everybody was using the pronouns. Now, I don't use them. It's not that I fight against it actively or anything like that. I just don't do that. It's not a thing for me to do.
Yeah, I don't know why we have to post our pronouns.
Yeah, but everybody was like, oh, I'm they, them, or zim, za, or he, her, or he, she.
How about your Bill? That's what you're named. Or you change your name to Bambi. Whatever it is, whatever you want to be identified as, I will identify you. I don't have a problem.
And that's where I'm at. But what was really interesting, because Hopkins is a fairly liberal university, they got to me and I said, my name's Shank, and they waited, and I go, oh, I don't use pronouns.
They waited for your pronouns?
They waited for my pronouns.
I guess because the professors don't want to offend. I guess they're covering their own rear ends.
Probably. But when I said that,
because if they're having a conversation and referring to you, and instead of always having to say, Sean said, they wouldn't go, well, he said, or she said, or
they said.
I guess.
But the thing was, this was what was nice at the time, and I don't know if I can get away with it now, but I said, you do that, and I said, if you need me to refer to you as a certain way, I said, I'll do it, but I don't do that. And they just said, okay. And for the next 2.5 years, almost 3 years of school, I never had an issue with it. But I can tell you that I saw a lot of instruction come down from the top that was very bent towards ideology, politically, everything. It was, and the way they would ask questions, it was just like, God, there is so much bias in this. This isn't education.
Listen, I think the way to get through all this stuff, and I talk about at the end of my show, just don't be a dick. I don't, like, if you want to refer to yourself as she, say you do, I know you don't, but if you want to refer to yourself as she, I'll call you she. It costs me nothing. I don't need to know the who, the why, the what, the when. I don't need to know your whole history and how you've been persecuted. But as a human being, I respect you, and this is how you want to be referred, and it costs me nothing. If everybody would just do that, we'd be a lot happier.
I agree, except I have one exception, and this is, you talk about a mountain you'll die on. I will not call somebody they. I will not fucking do it.
It's not proper grammatically.
It's not proper grammatically. I will fucking do it.
And much like you, much like me, you will die on that mountain sexless and alone, because there will be nobody else with you.
Yeah,
you will be a solo vet.
I will be a solo vet.
Yeah, I guess unless they're gender fluid. And then I guess, because then you don't want to go he, she, shin. You're like, shin, you can't do that. Was a pejorative term, I guess.
Yeah, shin, yeah, because it's a she, him.
Right, but I don't think you can use it.
No, shin's bad now.
But I do get what you're saying. Like, if you're they, we should be able to cut you in half. But I get what you're saying. But again, I'm not going to fight that fight. I don't care. You're, no disrespect. If you want to be referred to as they or them, you're not that important to me to have to go, well, I will never. Okay, whatever. What am I dealing with you? 45 minutes out of a semester where I might have to directly address you, it costs me nothing. Them. And I'll go home to my wife, who's probably she, fingers crossed, get a load of Sean, wants to be them. I mean, listen, I know he had an extra Pop-Tart, but he's still one dude. I don't get it, but it's not worth it. I'm not going to die on that hill. I already know I'm dying alone sexless because, we have to have sex, and you won't because you have rights, but whatever.
Man, women, the suffragettes, they were wrong.
I am liberalism's great hope. Liberal.
Okay, so one of the last things I want to talk about today, because
did we talk about anything you wanted to talk about today?
No, actually, I want to talk about the Jewish thing, but I also wanted to talk about.
Did I answer that? I hope I did.
Yeah, no, you totally did. Okay. You totally did, and I hope that from this people understand that. Oh, we have more folks. Anyway,
we were just talking about.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, that people get like anti-Semitism is bad. Okay, I don't know if you know that.
Hating people.
Oh, no, anti-pedophile. Very good.
Here's why. Yes, here's why. Because they're taking advantage of somebody.
Yeah.
So but unless somebody's directly hurting somebody intentionally, you shouldn't be anti-anything. Makes no sense. Meet people. Meet a Muslim. Meet a Sikh. Meet a Buddhist. Meet a Christian. Meet a Westboro Baptist. Well, not them. They're part of the But
You're not so great.
But meet people. That's the great thing. So you started this show talking about all these experiences you were having. And that's what I always tell people, and that's why I try to tell my daughter, travel is the best education you will get. Because my daughter is very, very, well, she hates Trump. A lot of people hate Trump. But she's very, very liberal. And I try to get her, I go, come on the road with me to a different region for a week. Meet these people. Meet these people. You don't have to agree with them. You don't have to like them. But at least listen to where they're coming from so you can understand them. Understand why they think the way they think, the experiences they have. A lot of people don't want to do that. Most people can't do that. We are very blessed that our job allows us to travel.
Right.
But most people can't. Most people live and die within the same 20 miles where they were born.
What a shame that is.
It is a shame.
Well, it's funny because Matt Damon, I don't know if you remember, a couple years ago, he did that movie where his daughter was trapped. The guy had a daughter trapped in Italy and all that stuff, and he had to go save her. I can't remember what it was basically, but he's basically an white Iowa farmer, and he had to go out and be amongst those people. And
He played an white Iowa farmer with that accent?
Matt Damon?
He's from Boston.
Oh, that's right, he's from Boston. Yeah, he did. But you know what he
He's a
said?
fine actor. It's like he was born to act.
The point being, No, but he came back to Hollywood and he was like, I couldn't believe it. I expected to go out there and hate everybody. All these.
Is that what he
Trumps-
said?
Yeah, he did. He was like, they're super nice. He said, everywhere you turn, they're the kindest people you ever want to run into. It's like, yeah, if you are around country people, I grew up poor and redneck, very poor, very redneck family, white trash. Some people would describe it as, but some of the kindest people you'll ever meet in the world. He was shocked. He literally came back, did interviews about it. Like, I am bamboozled. I can't understand it. We've been told all this stuff. It's like, no shit. Right?
But in his defense, he's just like they are, because a lot of those Trump supporters believe whatever Daddy Trump feeds them, and they haven't traveled and met people. So he's just like them more than he even realizes.
Right. Now, before we go down this Trump road, I actually wanted to ask you about something that's important.
Daddy's important.
You have, I think, probably one of the best callings that is so underrated right now, and that is you scam scammers. For those that you don't know, Davin, 13 years ago, started a career in fighting scammers and scam rings, and he's so fucking good at it that he gets consulted by the Pentagon, OPSEC, Operation Security, right? So the United States military goes to him for advice on how to do things. He was on American Greed, and he's got a nationally syndicated radio situation with it. But
I got a situation. There's a problem. We have a situation.
Well, but can you, my jumbled introduction of it, can you tell them what this is all about, how it got started, what you do?
That's a lot, dude. Ask me specific questions. That's a lot, man. I don't want to go rambling on to these fine folks.
Okay, so I guess we could say how you got started.
How did I get started?
Yeah, but then we could just make them wait until the TV show comes out.
Basically, short version is I'm on Facebook, and somebody who I don't know starts messaging me, and I'm a little bit cynical to begin with, and I just kind of felt like this doesn't seem right, the way they're talking to me, honey, dear, within the first few minutes. So I felt like, let's see where this goes. So I started having fun with them, putting it on the air, and I became more and more involved in this, and I educated myself, sought people out to tell me what was going on, read online, watched things, go, okay, this is a lot more serious. People are dying, people are losing their fortunes.
Okay, now hold on a second. People are dying. Please explain that, because people think like people get scammed, they lose. Like I've had my identity stolen and had my bank account.
This isn't even the original Shank Redemption podcast.
No,
somebody else is doing it right now.
Yeah,
with a much better guest.
Definitely, and a much better host too. But that is vastly different. What happened to me, because I was actually able to recoup my money. And
very rare, by the way.
Right, but it goes way deeper than what I had to deal with. Mine was like surface level stuff.
I wouldn't say it's surface level.
Well,
you got lucky and you're adjusted enough and you have enough love in your life, people who love you, to help you get through that. You got to imagine, in the case of, say, a romance scam, I fall in love with this beautiful woman. I think we're having a relationship. $10,000 later, $15,000 later, I run out of money. I can't send them any more money. They disappear. I'm ashamed. I'm embarrassed. I don't even want to tell my kids, my friends, whoever in my life, because I'm so mortified, and it just becomes darker and darker and darker. And sometimes, unfortunately, people take their own lives. Sometimes you go to meet them. You think you're in love with this person. You go to meet them, and these are criminals. And on the rare occasion, sometimes you don't come back alive. I mean, these are criminals. That's what it is. That's why I tell people, don't do what I do. I get threatened. And, it's scary, and I take precautions, It's always nice when you get that emoji with a knife and the little blood drops and, the broken English and how they're going to kill me. It's fun. It's nice. but you've had some penetration. Penetration. Just a tip, my friends. That's what this is, just tips.
That's the podcast, everybody.
That's the name of my new porno. Just the tips.
Just the tips. And you'll find it on his OnlyFans page.
That's my own. Oh, you've been loving that.
I love that joke. But you've had some exposure into your personal world. Like you've had phone calls at home.
Oh yeah. Well, that was stupidity on my part.
Right, but you were fresh. You were kind of new.
I was very new. This is my first girlfriend. So this is the first girl who tried to scam me, and this is many years ago. This is over a decade ago, and we would call her live on the air for the radio show. But I would use calling cards. I thought the calling cards hid the phone number from where I was calling from. Kids, no, it doesn't. So around 5 a.m., phone's on my wife's side of the bed. Picks up the phone. It's Florrie, because that was her name. And I know what she sounds like because I've talked to her a bunch of times on the radio show. For your enjoyment. It's Florrie. And now my wife is furious. So it's 5 a.m. It's like, I can handle this. Or I could be a man and pretend I'm still asleep. Ladies and gentlemen, I am nothing but a man. Him. So
alone on the mountaintop.
Alone on the mountaintop. Not answering that phone. But yeah, so she was pretty pissed. So yeah, they can find you. But I'm better now. So my Facebook, which is where I have a lot of my friends and some family, that is locked down for the most part. Although there's a few people in there I know that are scammers. But yeah, you should really lock down your social media. They can find you. Don't give them your phone number. They always want your phone number. Don't give them your you could do WhatsApp, I guess, but don't give them your phone number. Don't give them any personal information. Don't talk to them. You have no reason to talk to people you don't know. You're not Sean Shank. Sean Shank has fans, people that he doesn't know. You're not Sean Shank. Chances are, if somebody doesn't know you on social media, they don't need to know you on social media. We're in kind of like a rare situation that, is this a fan or not a fan? And then you kind of get discerned and go, their page is 4 days old and they really like comedy. They're friends with 75 comics, and Matt Rife isn't one of them. So I don't think this is real.
Well, and the other clue is, and this is no knock on us as humans. I mean,
I'll knock humanity.
I'm just saying on my overall looks, I'm a 6.8, maybe a 7 on a foggy day, but. If these people
is that Rudolph? No, it's Sean. Santa came to ride him on foggy Christmas Eve.
But if they are impossibly hot, like a solid 10, even on their worst day, and they're reaching out and they're like, "Hey, how are you?" Out of the blue, it's just like you pretty much know.
That's
right
a clue.
off the bat.
But more and more, like I get them where they look like not 10s to be nice. And now the latest evolution is they will try to approach me as their real selves. I'm a Nigerian. I'm a girl from Nigeria, straight up. They'll do the video chat with you, which was really hard to do at the time when they're pretending to be somebody else. But then they'll fall in love with you quickly, and they do need money. So it's not always the 10s. That's a stereotype. Or somebody in the military, which is why the military got involved with me, because members of the military are targets because men and women like that uniform. And what happens is, I think I'm dating a Marine. I'm not dating a Marine. I'm a 350-pound dude, living in New Jersey, aside, which I'm not. But this hot female Marine really likes me, and now she ghosts me. Well, now I hate the Marines. Now I hate the military because I haven't figured out it wasn't really. So that's why it's a problem. So because you got to remember our military penetrates other nations, and they have to come in contact with the population. And it's a lot harder to do your mission when they hate you, for instance, for stuff you have nothing to do with.
Right, and that's just so you know, like the sergeants and things, that's what the chevrons on the shoulder are for, penetration. That's because I know military things.
There you go.
But so how does this come back to you? What do you do with your time? I know what you do, but please explain to them. How do you, aside from the billions of dollars, and it is in the billions that he has saved, folks, with his work, but what do you specifically do to stem the tide of this bullshit?
I get them in long, very time-consuming relationships and run them ragged just really to slow them down because there's not really I can do. It's hard to find them. Even when I have gotten a check, which I knew was bogus, and I've taken it to the bank. And I do have an address of somebody in the United States because that's where they want the payment to go to. There's not even really much they can do about it. I mean, that happened with Wells Fargo. My father came at home. I had a counterfeit check. I knew it was going to be counterfeit, and she wanted me to deposit it and then send money to her.
Yep.
But there's not much you can do. So basically, the most I can do is waste their time. Now, there are a few people that are good at hacking them. They can hack them and delete all their stuff. And those people are very impressive in their own right. I just don't have I don't have that weapon. My weapon is humor and creativity and thinking fast. But
And you play different parts, which
yeah, it's hard to remember who I am. Yeah, I'm recently. Unfortunately, I have a girlfriend here, and she needs some money. Luck would have it. And I don't have anything. I don't do any wiring of money. I don't have a Cash App or Zelle.
No, but you tried to wrap me up.
Well, no. Well, she wanted to know if I could give you the cash, and you could wire her the money, and that was yesterday, and we couldn't have that conversation because there was so much stuff going on at home. I said, it was a bad time. I couldn't do it, and she got very upset, and now I'm cut off from sex from my online girlfriend. So I said, well, fine, I'm in paradise, I'm going to enjoy myself. I can have all the sex. I will have company on this mountain that I thought I was going to die on alone. So we're in a little bit of a fight right now. Animals, I think I'm still dating somebody who's in the military. She's been in Yemen for like 2.5 years. She can't go home or nothing.
And this isn't Milo, right?
No, that's not Milo. This is
okay.
That one is Kim Sonia Kwan. And I've been with her for like 7 or 8 months. And she's gotten nothing. She hasn't gotten a gift card. She's very upset by it.
No, but you finally did send money to somebody.
Yes, to the one who wants more money. Yes.
Right.
That is, her name is Victoria. Victoria, yes. And, she looks like, she's like a 7, 6 or a 7. She's not a 10.
Okay.
So but yeah, so for the first time ever, I said, let me send some money. $20. She wanted 600. Here's 20. Let me send you a Steam card because they always want gift cards.
Yes, because the Steam card somehow is going to help get their mother out of the hospital. Yeah,
this was for the kids to play video games.
Oh, it was legit. It was for the reason.
Yeah, I mean they're not her kids. I mean she says they are, but they're not.
Oh, okay, that's new.
Yeah, right. So, but so I said 20. Let's see what happens. I go, I'm enjoying this one. This one is spending a lot of time with me. Let's see what happens if I give a little taste. Get the beak wet. Let's see how long. Well, very happy initially. Over the moon.
Right.
Over the moon.
Right.
But then within a period of a week or two, right back to it. So now I'm back to my dance moves, avoiding it, and that's what yesterday was. And so I don't know. It might be a Ross and Rachel thing. We might be on a break. I don't know. I mean, because now she just followed 24 new dudes today. So.
Well, and the thing is too, like this is probably the longest I've ever seen you off your phone. Because you're juggling so many people at once, constantly.
Let's see, did she message me?
Yeah, you probably have 20, 30 messages.
No, I don't. Because we had a fight today. I'm actually in a slow period, and this is weird because usually around Christmas business picks up because they're trying to make money for their families.
Oh, right.
And and both my scammers, both Kim and Victoria, have certainly played that angle with me. I just feel like it's going to be a very sad Christmas in Africa.
Do they actually say, my kids will not have Christmas because of you?
Yeah.
They
I mean, essentially, yeah. And my girl Victoria, she can't come now because she's hungry. So, I mean, there's a lot of pressure on her.
I still don't understand the A therefore B.
She needs her strength. I'm very good at bullshit cyber sex. I don't think you understand what my talent is. If you're alone on the mountain dying alone.
You gotta get good from the mountain.
Well, what's great about being upon the mountain is you can just, and it goes down on the people below. So that's the fun thing, which is really how I look at the world.
It is the salty rain again from the gods.
Why is it raining bleach? It's not like the pool out here. No, it's not going to be good for the crops. Anyway.
Great for skin, though. Great for skin.
Yeah, so it's actually not a bad idea a bad time that I'm on a little bit of a hiatus because I got the family coming in. And, to have to deal with, like, real family and fake family at the same time, is a problem.
I don't know how you do it. I really don't.
She's not happy.
What? Your real wife? Or
Yes.
Your fake wife?
no wives that I'm involved with.
Nobody's happy.
Nobody's happy. Except me. And we started out the podcast by saying, if I'm not happy, nobody's happy.
Very true.
No, I mean, she doesn't like, I think she gets like upset by like the sexy talk.
Mm-hmm.
I think that genuinely gets to her. It's hard, and I understand it. But you know, it's a game. But I do get involved in the fact that in order to do what I do well, I have to lose myself in the character. But then my co-hosts on the show, and we've talked about this for the show that we're writing, generally get concerned. And I say, yes, guys, I understand your concern. And yeah, you know, maybe sometimes I do get lost. And I go, but remember, every time shit's going well, I do create a ridiculous monkey wrench to ruin the relationship and cause more problems. So I'm not that invested.
Right. But you've also, aside from playing the myriad characters that you have, all these scammers, you're legitimate. I know on stage you call yourself a low-key superhero.
That's not what I call myself. We can say the word, can't we?
You can say retarded.
Yes,
Yeah.
retarded superhero.
Say whatever you want to on this cast. I'm fine with it.
Retarded superhero.
I didn't want to give away your joke. That's all.
Nobody wants that joke. It's okay.
No, anyway.
Are these folks going to come and see me at Niles, Michigan when I'm there Super Bowl weekend?
Possibly.
That would be nice because I'll be very disappointed if you don't.
Nice.
There are approximately 360 tickets available that weekend, give or take. So we would love to see you. And also we might be doing a little scammery presentation.
Oh, that's right, and that's going to be. We're talking about it.
Yeah.
The schedule will come out. But to the point, you, as a human,
Ooh,
have
nobody's ever told me that.
it's a stretch, but have worked, and this is actually how we're starting out the script. We've written a script about his life, and we're workshopping it, trying to get it into a series. But you've worked directly with scam victims, and some of them have experienced real tragedy, and you've helped people through some serious moments. Like, all joking aside, you really have.
And I'm not the only one who does it. There are volunteers. This is all volunteer. But yeah, I mean, I've had suicidal people because the decisions they made in regards to their scammers affected them and their real life families. So I've had to help them through that. Not really what I signed up for, but you know what? When somebody's struggling and they're asking you to throw them a lifeline, you do that.
Right. And here's the thing you folks need to understand about this whole thing too. And I'm not saying Devin's one of my best friends, but I'm not saying this because of that. Like, he's doing this because he's a good dude. Like, you get, like, when you do shows
See
and
the
things
halo?
like that,
Look at
a
it.
little, it's at a can't.
It's a Yama halo.
But you don't get paid for this.
Nope.
Except for like the programming stuff you do this because it's the right thing to do.
Yep. I'd like to change the first part of that.
And
Not that I want to get paid from the victims. I don't want to get paid from, well,
No.
I don't want to get paid from the victims, but we are shopping a TV show. So if any of you fans of the Shank Redemption have a production company, I know people that would like to make a show with you.
Which, and you know what? That'll get us to the next transition because we got to wrap this thing up. My anchor watch tells me so. Where can they find you on the social medias?
On my social media, let's see, on Instagram, Davin Comedy, Twitter, X, Davin Comedy, my website, davincomedy.com, and on Facebook, Davin Rosenblatt. But unless you send me a direct message and let me know that you heard me here, or I think you might have actually been to one of my shows, I probably won't accept you there as a rando. Also TikTok, I think is Davin R23 and Davin Comedy. I have two of them. The one with the more recent posts is the one I still have access to.
Yeah, and he does a lot of lip sync, Taylor Swift lip sync videos.
Oh, I'm a
on
Swiftie.
TikTok.
I'm a Swiftie. Oh yeah, I do like Taylor Swift. You know why I like Taylor Swift? Because she's good to her fans,
She is.
and I can respect. She doesn't have to be. So many people, so many celebrities, or people of power, or people of means, are not good to people who are not in that position and are not appreciative of the folks who helped them attain that position. And everything you hear about her is that she's really good to her fans. The only thing, as far as I can tell, with Taylor Swift is you don't want to break up with her. You don't want to be in that situation because you will wind up in a slump. But yeah, I do like Taylor Swift. I think she's very talented.
She is very talented.
And she seems like a good person. I mean, why wouldn't I want to associate? Why wouldn't I want to support something like that?
No, well, she's also, and I don't know if this is accurate, but it almost seems like she has Beatles level fame. I don't know if it'll be as lasting with her, but you look at the arenas and stuff she's playing.
She's playing stadiums.
And like massive. It's almost like Queen level.
Well, it's a different
Beatles,
era. I mean, you can say the same thing with Madonna. I mean, listen, but
yeah, that's true.
But you're talking about people that are talented. These aren't one-hit wonders. I mean, Taylor Swift is a talented young woman. The Beatles were talented young men. I don't know how the Beatles treated their fans back in the day. I know they were running from them. I've seen those.
Did you know that when the Beatles they would take the seat cushions out and just leave the bare seats, because when the Beatles would go and play places, people would piss themselves, and it got to be so prolific that they started removing the cloth seats.
What a lovely story.
I love bad trivia.
But support Taylor Swift. She's good to her fans.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not buying a ticket.
Who the fuck can afford it? Jesus.
But but like they wanted her. So she put out that movie Eras.
Yes.
And they wanted her to wait till she was done touring, because they wanted everybody to go to the tours.
Sure.
And she's like, no, I'm going to put it out now.
Yeah.
Because if they can't come and see me tour, they can come to the movie.
Yeah, that was nice.
I mean, that's how it goes. How much money do I actually need? I mean, how much do I have to?
What is her net worth at? She's got to be close to $1 billion.
You know what? I don't know. I don't care. Like I said, she's talented. People want to pay to go see her, support her. You could support a lot worse.
No, I'm just saying, if I could get that money by breaking up with dudes,
you could
sign me up.
You could. You would just have to refer to yourself as they, which is a bridge too far for you.
I will not. I will die on that mountain sexless.
Yes, and you had broke, apparently, because otherwise you'd be breaking up with dudes left and right and people would be coming to hear your songs about them. But because you won't refer to yourself as they, man on a mountain.
It's my one weakness, proper grammar.
It is weird, man. It's always perplexing when you hear people speak properly. It's like, how'd you get out with that education?
Well, you admonished me yesterday about my SAT words, so.
Yeah, I definitely have a stupid in here. Yeah.
All right, so guys, follow Davin on all the socials, and we'll be back for a second part later this week. Hopefully, we had a host last night. His name was Val. She was fantastic at the club, very personable, and hopefully we're going to have her on the second installation. We also might have the house comic down here. His name is Naughty. And I guess he's a radio personality down here.
Hosts a morning show down here, writes columns, has political opinions, has opinions about sports, has opinions about a lot of things. I've known the guy for years. So yeah, he'd be an interesting guy. You should probably just move down here and just shoot every podcast down here. Interview everybody.
If I could have somebody foot the bill for me to be down here, I would.
Yeah, it's just a shame your wife and kids wouldn't be. But we all make sacrifices.
Who?
Exactly.
All right, thanks so much, guys, for joining us for this installation of the Shank Redemption podcast. Don't forget, check out Black Label Chronometers. You can find them on Facebook. Customized clocks from Vintage Records. Check out his stock. He's got great clocks. And also check out myvive.com. That's myvyv.com. If you need to pick me up in the middle of the day, you got that 2 o'clock where you're just dropping your energy. It helps out a lot. And on both of those, Black Label Chronometers and myvive.com, use Shank 15. That's SHANK 15, and you will get a discount. And as always, remember,
guess what it comes down to is get busy laughing or get busy dying.